As you guys know, one of the big things we do on this channel is look at the backstory of Call of Duty. Specifically in Black Ops 4, it's a little bit more difficult to figure out the backstory because there was no campaign, and all they gave us was a bunch of cutscenes revolving around specialist characters. Now, what's interesting is every individual map has its own backstory, and a lot of them actually end up linking together. Now, recently we were given 2 brand new maps in the DLC Operation Grand Heist, and as it turns out, both of these new maps that were added have a pretty deep backstory to both of them. However, the one that we're going to be looking at today has the crazier of the two's backstory. Today we are looking at the story of the map Lockup. Now, before we dive into that, I just wanted to let you guys know about my Instagram. My Instagram will be the first link down in the description, and over there I try to share Call of Duty news and just general information about my life. So if you want to stay up to date on everything Black Ops 4 and Call of Duty, or you just want to kind of know what's going on in my life, it's a great place to stay up to date on both of those things. Like I said, it'll be the first link down in the description, and if you have Instagram, maybe that's something you'd be interested in. But without further ado, let's dive back in and look at the backstory of Lockup. Now, as it turns out, earlier today, David Vonderhaar and Miles Leslie, 2 of the head people at Treyarch, actually made a video talking about the map Lockup, and in this video, they actually gave away a bit about the backstory of not only the map Lockup, but all of the maps. Here's what they said.
I'm Miles Leslie, MP and Blackout producer at Treyarch.
I'm David Vonderhaar, studio design director at Treyarch, and we're going to talk to you about a brand new multiplayer map in Operation Grand Heist that we call
Lockup.
Whenever we make a brand new map, we like to tell a visual story in the map. What is the visual story in this one?
This is super compelling to us. We've never done a police station. The story of this is that a band of criminals have come in and they are trying to destroy all evidence, silence witnesses. It is chaos across the entire police station.
So first of all, this is a little bit interesting because this is the first time we've ever seen Treyarch actually openly admit that they put a backstory into every single one of their maps, which is pretty cool. Feel a little vindicated for making these videos. On top of that, they give us the backstory of Lockup. They tell us that the police station in Los Angeles is under attack because a group of mercenaries is trying to steal some evidence and shut up some witnesses. So, who is this band of mercenaries and what are they trying to stop? Now, the first thing I wanted to find out on this map is when does this map actually take place? Now, you'd think that would be easy because there's literally calendars on this map, but as it turns out, it really isn't. You see, if you look at this calendar, you can see that it takes place in September, and the 1st is on a Wednesday, and the last day of the month, the 30th, is on the Thursday. So based off of this, we can find the exact year that this calendar takes place. And essentially, we have 2 options: the year 2038 or the year 2049. Now, we know that this map doesn't take place in the year 2038, as there is missing children's reports on the map that take place in the year 2039, which means this map can't take place before that. So, the only thing that we're left with is the year 2049, right? Well, there's some other things on the map that make that impossible as well. If you turn right around from there and have a look at the coffee machine says this map takes place in the year 2040. On top of that, there's flyers all over the police station displaying the year 2045. What I'm telling you is that it's pretty much impossible to tell the exact year that this takes place. I don't know whether that's done on purpose or they made a mistake when making the map, but the one thing I can guarantee is the day that this takes place on is September the 9th. Now, as Miles Leslie said there, this map is a militia attacking the police station, and it appears to be to silence or hide evidence, but this is further amplified when you actually go inside the investigation building, and inside, when you look at the computers, you can see that whoever is attacking this building is also stealing all of the data from the police computers. As you can see, file transfers going on multiple computer screens. Now, the question is, who is doing this? Who is destroyed this police station to stop this investigation? Well, to figure that out, we have to actually figure out what they are investigating. And as it turns out, there is a board on this map that looks extremely similar to something that we have seen before. If you remember on the map Hacienda, there was once again one of these spiderweb investigations circling around the mystery man in the middle, which when we investigated that map, we found out is Raul Menendez. However, this investigation on the map Lockup is a little bit different because they're not only investigating that man in the middle, aka Raul Menendez, they're investigating the entire crime syndicate boss, who we know owns the property of Hacienda. Now on the map Lockup, we can find out several interesting things. For example, up at the top left here, we can see Japan disaster heist goes awry, 3 dead and 12 injured. This is of course talking about the map Gridlock that we find out was more than just a bank heist, kind of like I said in the Gridlock videos. Down below, we can see that someone in Gridlock was actually stabbed, and they say the wounds look similar to a typical Russian knife. So assumably the people of Militia, which of course we also talked about in another video. Now when I was first reading this, I figured that this was all investigating the crime syndicate boss who owned the map Hacienda. But as we find out by one of the newspaper clippings on this board, that the high-ranking crime syndicate boss was actually caught by Spanish policemen on the map Hacienda, which we previously didn't know before this map came out, which means that this investigation is once again investigating the Mystery Man, aka Raul Menendez, and his Russian militia. Now, as we found out on the map Militia, this group is known as the Patriots of the North, and Raul Menendez is kind of heading them off. So, assumably, this group, the Patriots of the North, are the ones attacking this police department here to destroy, steal, and kind of ruin the investigation on them. Now, this all gets even more interesting when we go over to the other side of the map. There's a piece of paper on the wall that reads, "Just a reminder to all employees, the laundry room is for work uniforms only. Not for your daily wear, not for your sweet new jean shorts, not for Aunt Susie's cat's pajamas, work uniforms only. This excludes hard hats. They do not get machine wash or dried. Kevin. Best, Deisler Management." Now, the body of that's kind of funny, but doesn't really matter. The important part is Deisler Management. We find out from this piece of paper that the Los Angeles Police Department is actually owned by Deisler. Now, if you don't recognize that name, you probably haven't seen my video on the map Arsenal. As it turns out, Deisler Management is a group that not only creates weapons, but also all of the score streaks that you use in Call of Duty Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and 4. What this means is that Deisler owns the police department. And as we found out from the map, Deisler doesn't just deal arms to the good guys, they also deal arms to the bad guys, aka the Patriots of the North. What this means is that Deisler is on both sides, the good guys and the bad guys, the police department and the militia. On top of that, Deisler owning the police department would also explain a problem I had with the map in the past when it was first announced. You see, the Los Angeles Police Department actually has a slogan called "To Serve and Protect," like most police departments follow. However, in this map and on this specific police department, their motto is not to serve and protect, it's to support and defend, which as it turns out, Deisler may have actually chosen that slogan. And it is even possible that Deisler fed the Patriots of the North information about this police department to make it easier for them to come ruin the investigation and rob all of the evidence. It is possible that Deisler has actually puppeteered both sides to make these encounters happen, aka more war, more weapons, and more money in Deisler's pocket. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the story of the map Lockup. It is a police station under attack by the Patriots of the North, and specifically Raul Menendez, to cause the police department to stop investigating them. Now, there are also a few little Easter eggs that are pretty interesting on this map as well. If we once again go back to that investigation board that we were looking at before, everything on this board relates to the various maps in the game. As we saw before, we had Gridlock, Militia, Hacienda, Payload, and then there's this. The title of this article is "Local Church Found Vandalized and Robbed of Its Gold This Morning." And when I first read that, I assumed that they were talking about the church on the map Militia. However, when you look at the picture, that is not what you're seeing there at all. And it is possible that this article is hinting at a future map, possibly for the next DLC, being a big church like we are seeing here in this image. On top of that, if you once again go back to the other side of the map, this is inside kind of like the welcome building to the police station, and you go ahead and look at the monitors, it's interesting what you see. It's a news report for a grand heist at the Ucello Casino, which just so happens to be the other map released in Operation Grand Heist, aka Season 3 of Black Ops 4, which means that these two maps are actually linked together. However, to dive into that, we are going to have to go into a future video where we look at the backstory of the map Casino. So, if you enjoyed this video and want to see that one in the future, the way to show me is by simply hitting that like button. The more likes these video gets, the more likely I am to continue on this series, and in this case, look at the next map, Casino, in Operation Grand Heist. But guys, if you have any other theories about this map, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. Also, like I said, if you enjoyed the video, I would very much appreciate it if you could hit that like button. And guys, if you like what you see here and want to stay up to date on all my videos, the best way to do so is make sure you hit that subscribe button and have notifications turned on. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for